Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. A little bit old school today. I've been out and about, but you're going to love what is coming. Trust me. Some big transfer news to jump into, though, regarding Tell and his exit from Bayern Munich, Ollie Watkins to Arsenal, and of course, we're looking at the Garnacho saga at Man United that involves Chelsea. So hit the like buttons. Make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace right about now. So the first one relates to the young forward, the young attacker from Bayern Munich, Tell, who wants to leave Bayern Munich. They are trying to work alongside him to get that done, to get that complete, so that he can leave Bayern Munich this January. It has been revealed by Fabrizio Romano that Tottenham Hotspur have an agreement in place for 60 million euros with Bayern Munich for the deal. However, the kind of complicated nature to this is that Tell is still deliberating what he wants to do. Does he want to become a Spurs player? Does he want to wait on and hang out and see whether Man United or Chelsea, Arsenal make an official bid for him? Because they haven't done so yet. And it certainly feels like that may be the case. Tottenham, big club, a team that he would be willing to join, but he hasn't made his mind up yet. And I've seen already over the TL, United fans screaming, get it done. Chelsea fans desperate for this young, supremely talented player to join them at Stamford Bridge. But I really think this ties in massively to the situation with Alejandro Garnacho. Now, Man United are willing to let him go at the right price. Napoli have been interested. Nothing has come to fruition there. Chelsea have, of course, spoke to agents, spoke to representation, have expressed an interest, made in some media reports have said unofficial bids, some have said official bids, but of course no deal is at the final stages. Chelsea, though, seemingly still very interested. So I think that the Tell situation couples into this, because my gut feeling is that Chelsea would prefer Tell to Garnacho. But Tell has already rejected Chelsea on a couple of occasions. Chelsea are working hard to try and convince him to change his mind. His rationale has been, I don't think there's a gateway. I don't think there's a pathway for me at Chelsea in the same way as I see it at Tottenham, potentially Manchester United, as key points and examples. Due to Neto, Sancho, Madueke and others there that are doing very, very well. Now, Chelsea could convince the player. The player could join, reject Liverpool, reject Tottenham, reject Man United and become a Chelsea player. But if he doesn't, this is where I think it impacts the situation with Tell. Because Tell going to Spurs. If Tell says no to Chelsea and Chelsea go and get Garnacho, that is when I think Manchester United may swoop in for the young Bayern Munich player. So the question is for Tottenham fans, are you willing to wait? Or do you maybe want to walk away from a player that doesn't just want you? Is considering some of your biggest Premier League rivals. And that is not me trying to suggest anything or put it in your mind. It's an opinion. Personally, I wouldn't care. These are professionals. And like you, when you seek a job, if you've got 2 or 3 job interviews, you weigh up which one is better for you. It doesn't instantly mean you are disloyal to the company that you pick, but you have to weigh up the options. What's the best club for me? Who will develop me better? Who will give me the best opportunities? There's a reason he wants to leave Bayern Munich. He really wants to get this decision right. So for me, this is key. I would like him at Man United. Supposedly, according to Paul O'Keefe, he prefers us to Tottenham. However, we are being held back 100% by the Garnacho situation. So what do you think Man United, Chelsea and Spurs will do? And what could they do in this scenario? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, the big story yesterday was Arsenal's bid for Ollie Watkins. And as ever, 24 hours later, new information is emerging. It turns out, according to some sources, the bid wasn't 60 million, it was nearer 45, which is an interesting development. They are also still suggesting, these new sources, that Arsenal are weighing up that second bid, which Sammy McBell spoke about yesterday. Now, the secret scout, and I'm only giving him his or hers, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, I'm only giving them their flowers because they called this before everybody else that Arsenal had placed a bid. They believe Arsenal have agreed personal terms with Ollie Watkins. And we know he wants to join Arsenal. It's always been his dream. He said it on camera in 2020 when he was still a Brentford player. So I don't suppose personal terms are going to be much of an issue. I take that. My interpretation is they're agreed on a principled level. Now, the real difficulty for Arsenal is John Duran. And we said it on the video we did last night. We put it in the titles, in the description, and we put it into the comments that we were making. The John Duran to Saudi Arabia deal is massive in this. There is just, I cannot imagine a world where Villa allow both to go in January. It doesn't make sense. Now, it's been very interesting, the briefing from Villa, because Villa have briefed the media saying they do not intend to let him leave, which isn't a complete shutdown of the situation. It just isn't. So there is the fact that there are news reporting saying that Arsenal may make the second bid, that the player has agreed terms or will agree terms, and that's kind of coupled with this notion that Villa haven't completely shut this down. There is the possibility this still goes through when you read the media articles. However, from my perspective, so again, that's me being objective, that's reading the stories, that's reading what's been said, and there's multiple ways to interpret them. My personal feeling is Arsenal have left this too late. Now, be objective for a moment and drop your subjectivity, whether you like the player or not. Put that all aside. Arsenal have left this too late. It's too close to the Duran exit, I think, for them to get this deal done for Ollie Watkins before Duran has his medical, which I think is happening today, by the way, and before he officially leaves Aston Villa. And unless Villa have an ace up their sleeve, and ironically, they would probably raise 80 plus 60. They'd have 150 odd, unless they go and buy Isak, right? Now, this is me kind of painting a picture. This is the only way I see it happening, is if they took this £160 million through sales and they went and bought Isak. That is the only way I could see Ollie Watkins leaving at this point, is if they had an ace up their sleeve, Aston Villa, that was so huge and so gargantuan. I would be massively shocked if Arsenal pulled this off now, which I think from a Gooner perspective is going to be disappointing, especially if it's true that the player is open to the move, would like the move, and personal terms have been agreed. They've just left it too late. I've seen the claims that this is a PR bid. I said last night it didn't read too much like a PR bid, in my perspective, in terms of the amount of money they bid, agreeing personal terms. But on reflection, knowing how far down the line now the John Duran deal is, I understand why people think that, and I understand why people are saying it. I truly do. Only time's going to tell. Do Arsenal now move on to another target? Do they bid for somebody else? They've said for ages that Benjamin Sesko is their number one target, or one of their priorities. Maybe he isn't the finished article yet, like an Ollie Watkins, who's at 29 years of age. But go get someone now. Go, if you've got that 60, if that £60 million is there, maybe that's it. And if it is a PR bid, maybe it was a £60 million offer you made. Now it's being quoted as 45 million. So they can say, well, no, it's going to cost 70 to get Sesko. It's going to cost 80 to get Gyökeres. We only bid 45 million. That's all we have. From my perspective, Arsenal fans have got to put pressure on here because they need a bagsman. They need a good goal scorer. Ollie Watkins scored the most decisive goal in the Champions League game last night. Very clinical in the last few years. Yes, he misses chances. All strikers do. But he's so much better than what Arsenal have right now. How do you all see this going? Is it a PR bid? Do you think Arsenal will come back in for anybody else? Let me know. I am going to stop now, though, because it's getting dark. I don't have a light with me. I wasn't meant to be out as long today. I'm in a meeting. I cannot wait. So excited to show you guys what's coming on the terrace. 18 months in the making. Keeping this quiet has been the hardest thing for me, but very, very excited indeed. Hit the like and the share button before you go, and we'll speak to you all again soon. Peace.